My name is Renee Lynn, and we're going to be talking about events in your area. I have a few people that are joining me this morning, how to create events, how to get your team together, how to start your team. I moved to the desert here, and I didn't know anybody. I was born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I just didn't know anybody in the desert area. And so last January, we decided to start with a small event at my home, and we just started with a little sound bath with a local yoga teacher, and then we had a little health talk afterwards. And that grew into some pretty big events that we did consistently every single month. And we've grown just a really awesome team here. So I'm going to be sharing just a few different ways to start events or get to events or just get started. So I'm going to share my screen here, and as I go through the different events, I'm going to be calling up a couple of people to join me and talk about events and how they've created events. So, Carmen, are you available? Can you unmute?
Can you guys hear?
Yeah, yeah, we can
Okay,
hear.
great.
So,
Yeah.
so Carmen is in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where I'm originally from, and we met quite a while ago. But Carmen joined me in I think February or March of 2023, and we've been trying different ways. She's a recruiter, executive recruiter, been in Silicon Valley just like me for many, many years, and is looking to create freedom for herself. So some of the ways that we create events is with other people. And so, Carmen, would you talk about how you created this event?
Yeah. I was just thinking that everyone's so burnt out of Zoom, right? I'm burnt out. It's hard. And I thought it would be really fun to get some people together from different walks of life just to connect and then have a special speaker who would be from three. And so what I did was I put together just kind of an events list. So you can go to any chat GPT or AI and say, please create for me a checkoff list to create a fun business networking event. The main thing that usually blocks me from booking events is space. So my house is like 1,200 square feet. My husband's not necessarily comfortable having lots of people over all the time. And the weather's cold, so we can't even use our backyard. We're on a corner lot, so it's kind of cool. But anyways, I was at an event 2 months ago. I like to do scrapbooking and making cards. And some friends invited me to a free venue at a place called the Sports Basement. And so, for any sports basement that's in your area, it's kind of like an REI or sports area. They have a community room, and you can use the community room for 6 hours for free. So, I'm like, I can do free. So, all my time was spent maybe a maximum of like 10 to 15 hours putting this together. I did reach out to over 100 people. I actually reached out to a couple thousand because I'm part of the UCLA Alumni Network. So if you're part of an alumni network from previous companies or schools or your kids' organizations, I did a lot of volunteering with parent organizations. Our kids range in age from 24 to 37. So they've all launched and they've all finished college, but I'm still in touch with people. So I also reached out to Renee and anyone that I knew in the Bay Area who is still interested in building out their teams. Like, if you want to come, you don't have to pay for anything. You could, donate a food item or a drink item, but just bring your guests. Even if you're not here, I'll treat your guests as a VIP. So in the end, I think we only had maybe like 30 people. The room capacity was between 50 to 75. So what I did to track my guests is I set up an Eventbrite link, which is free. So if you have questions about that, I'm happy to walk you through it. It's pretty straightforward. But what was cool about it is that the Eventbrite told me how many RSVPs I had, and it would tell people when we were close to hitting the capacity of 50. So in this picture, you see the food that's there. Costco is down the street. So all in financially for this event, I probably spent like $150, $190 of my own money because I didn't have to pay for the room. And in the future, if I had people that were really partnering with me, I might split the cost. I know that Samson Lee, he's coming to the Bay Area on February 22nd. They got a room at one of the Hiltons all day for like $700 total. I'm like, that's a really good deal. And if you split that amongst a few brand ambassadors or people who want to grow, it's not that bad. Anyways, in the picture, you see there's bikes on the walls. That's because it's free, right? But I had coffee, caffeinated, decaffeinated. The people in the picture, the first three in front, are from Stanford University. I worked there for like 10 years. I teach once a quarter at Menlo College. So the gal on the right, Dr. Emma Gordon, she invited the other person across from her. And then the gal in the striped shirt reached out to me and said she was looking for a job. I'm like, come to my networking event. The gal in the hot pink, her name's Nancy. She leads one of the nationwide networking women's groups that I attend. And so I'm going to a luncheon today with her. And then the gal next to her is my sister-in-law, and she's just launching a business. She did sign up as a customer, my sister-in-law, a little while ago, but she's not interested in network marketing, which is fine because now she's tagging along with me to see how I work with Three, and I work with other collaborators at Three. So what was cool was that Kathy and other people from like Marin and San Francisco and Daly City, which are a good 30 minutes to an hour and a half north of where I held the event in Sunnyvale, they showed up and they brought really powerful Three people too, who were learning alongside of me because unfortunately Renee was supposed to be there in person, but her flight, it didn't work out. So we had her, I was working on technology on Zoom, trying, because everything's free in that room and we're in Silicon Valley. So, not everything was set up perfectly. But we made it work. And even though the speaker battery went out, what happened was Renee was still on my phone with me. So I finished off the presentation and I was very authentic. And I think because of Renee's authenticity and my authenticity, I have someone who's signing up as a brand ambassador today. So she's starting with an intro pack. And other people, while Renee was talking, I actually handed out packets of the Eternel, and people from Three, they were so awesome. They started drinking them. So that meant the other people in the audience were drinking them too, which is really cool. And the other thing was I couldn't find name tags. Usually I keep name tags at home. But what I did was I went to a Kinko's FedEx, which is like less than a mile from the venue. And I'll get it for you. I'll show it to you really quick. I bought this packing tape, legit. And I used a Sharpie pen. So you see on their lapels, packing tape and a Sharpie pen for a name tag, which kind of met the sports basement theme, right? So anyways, is that good? I mean, do you guys have questions
That's awesome. Yeah, Carmen, that's amazing. And yes, we turned it into a hybrid event. So I literally, for the first time ever, missed my flight. I don't, and it's probably good because I'm still sick. I realized that I should have never been on the road anyway. But anyway, awesome, awesome. Thank you for all these tips, Carmen. You're amazing. And so I'm going to go on to my next event and ask Trina. Trina Wilson, come on up and unmute yourself. And we had a local event here. And once again, I've been sick for I'm going on day 11, I think. But I said to Trina at the last minute, and we were collaborating with another Three partner, Val Joy. She does a treatment called the Body Organization and the Willow treatment. And she had already had this table and spot at the Wellness Fest, and it's outdoors because we're in the desert and it was a beautiful day. But ultimately, she said, hey, can somebody man the table? And I was going to do it, but I couldn't make it. So I said, Trina, this is amazing. All the leads are yours and Val's, and will you help? And Trina is always, this morning I said, hey, will you hop on and share about the WellFest? So Trina, will you tell us about kind of, just the quick setup and all the people you talked to and all that happened?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Renee, for asking me to do this. I would love to share. Um, And it was a great event. It's their second year doing that WellFest event. It was a great turnout. They actually did a whole big group picture of everyone who had a space set up. It was great working with Val. I mean, people were really um, coming to our booth with regards to her Willow System body organization too, and the two paired very well together. So I was able to speak to people who were waiting. They saw my little note that we were raffling the Vitalite, so they were signing up. And then it was a 3 hour event, but it went by so fast because our booth was extremely busy. Um, I mean, I was talking to one person, after the next. A few other people stopped by the booth as well, who had a booth set up there, dropped off their cards. We were able to talk. We're doing some other, figuring out how we can also collaborate for any like future events. I'm going to stop by. Oh my God, sorry guys, my brain is I can't remember the name. But I have an event to stop by this Friday, actually near where I live. They're doing a wellness event, two people that stopped by the booth. And then Renee and I are setting up a meeting with them to see how we can work together. It was really great. I got to speak a lot and not just lean on Renee because she wasn't there. So it allowed me to get a little better in my stance and, in doing this and my confidence levels. So even speaking here, I don't feel like I'm the best, but it helps. It helps me break through my fears as well. So does anyone have any questions? Was that enough, Renee, too? So.
You did amazing. But what we didn't mention is the next day we actually sat down with two people that were at the event. They came over to my home. Trina came over. We went through all the leads. We did another in-person, in-depth presentation with a gal who she's already taking a lot of supplements. She literally brought her bag of supplements and we were able to show her, look, these 4 are in Vitalite. This one here is going to be in here, and how we can simplify not only her life but her cost. And so yes, you did a great job. Thank you so much, Trina, for sharing that. But a key thing here is that you always collect leads. So you can see we have the pens and the I just quickly made some little forms and people filled them out. We gave away a box of Vitalite, and Trina is going to connect with the guy who won it. So, another opportunity to share 3. But we also have a bunch of leads to, text out, say thank you for joining. And our next event is the first Monday, and we're so excited for you to be there. So yes, thank you. Now one of the things I was talking about earlier is that consistency is the key. Now, we started an event in my home last January, and it was a little sound bath, and we sat afterwards and we talked about health and nutrition, and we talked about 3. And we were all sitting on our mats, and it was simple. And then we did it again, and it was people weren't waiting to get to the next one. And I was like, well, look, we need to make a bigger event. So we made an event where the first hour is networking. The second hour is the 3 presentation. But, the key thing is that started with me and a yoga teacher. None of these other people were in the room. We didn't have any other brand ambassadors here. Pretty soon, Nilbert and Lovey's team, they plugged in, Jasmine, and all of a sudden, we've got this great team coming in and building, and every event now is about 25 to 30 people. And by the way, Carmen, when you said it was only 30 people, I was like, what? What do you mean only? That's amazing. So, really, and yes, get your team to do things with you and to collaborate with you. Have somebody at the door, somebody greeting people, bringing food. It shouldn't be all on one person. Now, I'm gonna ask Lovey and Nilbert to collaborate on this slide because off of those events that have been going on monthly, and pick a date where everybody knows it's the first Monday, it's the first Monday. Everybody knows we don't have to go like, what date is next month? So every Wednesday, Nilbert and Lovey do what they call a weekly coffee collab. And so Lovey and Nilbert, would you talk here about this?
Okay, thanks, Renee. I think Lovey is on her way to take her kids to school. So
No worries, no worries.
I will chime in on this one. So we started this, it's kind of patterned after what Samson did in the LA area, where he started just like a weekly meeting in this case, we are doing it we do it in a Panera Bread, and so it's a weekly meeting where we just definitely, like Lovey and I, get there, and we open it to all the brand ambassadors in the area, and as well as opening it to any potential guests or prospects they may have. So every week is different. The photo that you see, just me and Lovey, that's the very, very first one that we started. So that started it all. I think that was sometime in like October, like, I think sometime in October. And then since then, we've had brand ambassadors. The one you see there, George, and then Rochelle. They're brand ambassadors who have attended the Coffee and Collab. There was one time where we actually had a prospect and we did a presentation right there. So again, like what Renee mentioned, it's all about consistency. We just do it, consistently, and we're going to grow it from there. So again, every week is different. It could be just a training week. If it's just brand ambassadors that show up, then what Lovey and I do is we go over any kind of training that they may want, and we also go over like their tree, go over their list, help them with their list, and stuff like that. So yeah, and
That's
then
amazing.
yep, in addition to this, we're going to do similar to what Renee does, or what she started in Palm Desert. I think she does it first Monday of the month for her events, and in San Diego, we're going to do something like something similar. Like every second Monday of the month, we're going to do an event patterned after how Renee started hers. So.
Yeah, that's perfect. So, our goal is to have all of these satellite events going on every month. I know that Rochelle Gage and I were talking the other day about doing the same thing in the LA area or Orange County area. So our team can, we've got team members in each place, and we know that we can welcome people. And I always am going to put people in a three-way text message to say, hey Nilbert, my friend Jennifer is coming to your event. I can't be there today, but I'm also going to try to get to every event. As leaders, we need to get to every event. Now, of course, we have all the Zooms, and so I'm not going to really touch on this, but you've got the Global Opportunity Showcase, you've got the Wellness Wednesday, and of course, we have other events that are consistent. I know that Christine Peterson, every single Monday through Friday, she has it at a very specific time. And her team can depend. She is going to show up every single day, Monday through Friday, and do a Zoom. They have a place to go. Now, get your team together, you guys. There's no more fun than being together. And this is my Northeast team. In May, I went out to New York for my daughter-in-law's graduation. Now, I could have just said, look, you know, we've had a whole week of fun and I'm exhausted, but I was like, no, I'm so close to them. I'm an hour away. So I jumped on a flight and let my family go back home, and I went out and I collaborated with all these health coaches who I love. And people got to, you know, see me in person for the first time. I got to hug them in person for the first time. We'd been meeting on Zoom meetings for like, oh, I don't know, 8 months. Just I got to see where they work, and I got to do an event at Jennifer Seven's home. And so, you know, do go out of your way, get out of your comfort zone, and you know, help your team get to earn their goals, set team goals, earn trips. We've still got a couple weeks going into Cabo. Go into your back office, figure out who's close, tell them, you know, I was on the Zoom with a couple of people the other day, you know, like, you only have 3,000 points. This is how you can get that through your PGV. You know, just really helping them understand. And last but not least, get to the corporate events. There is nothing better than having your team members, like I always shoot for a certain number. I think we both at the launch of the company and at the last event, we had about 30 people in our group, and it'll change every time. It'll get added to, new people will come. February 1st and 2nd, that was originally just like an LA event, but with the fires, they decided to make it into a actual leadership training. That is February 1 and 2. And just remember that your any 3 stars that you have can invite a 1, 2, you know, a 3 and beyond. So get together, figure out who should get there. Definitely all the 3 stars, but it doesn't matter if you're close or not. Get there, get get invited by somebody, and you know, collaborate, get a room together, have fun, get your team together, have a party. I know we're going to be doing some networking amongst our teams on Friday night and Saturday night, but get registered for Salt Lake City. We have Hong Kong coming up. If you're a world traveler, I went to the Hong Kong launch, and it was amazing. Nilbert was there. We were all excited out of our minds, having fun. And so that's what I have for you guys today. Is there anybody that has questions for anybody that talked today, or has any ideas that they would like to share? Kimberly, did you have something you wanted to share, Kimberly? Okay. Is there anyone that wants to share anything or ask any questions?
Renee,
I've got a quick one.
Okay.
Carmen mentioned the Eventbrite, and what is cool with that is you can go in and create a list of events that are coming to your area that you're interested in, and it will advise you on it. And it's free, and it's a perfect little tool to have for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that too, Craig. And it also pushes it out to the community so people can see what events are in their area. Shannon.
do you know where I might find a copy of the paperwork in the back office that would show me the benefits of the founder?
Oh, you really will need to get together with whoever is who's like in your upline.
Shannon,
Antoinette.
I have that copy.
Yes.
Right. I've got it right here. Okay.
Oh,
If you want me to
perfect,
send it to you,
perfect.
that's from
Yeah.
our conversation. I'll send it to you.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Christine. And while I have you, Christine, why don't you tell us about the events as you're building Texas? Tell us about your events there.
Well, we're having a great time, and I really, Antoinette is doing an amazing job in Dallas. What we like to do is we like to kind of, when I come in there, we like to do a opportunity event the night before, and then get people excited, and then they come down the next day, and then we do another opportunity for guests, and then we do training. We have lunch and we do training. But the people that come the night before get excited, and then they come, and then they want to be trained the next day, and then they get excited that we're coming in the next time. We have kind of and Antoinette does that every week on Saturdays, even when I'm not there. It's opportunity training, opportunity training. So people know that they can count on that. I think that's a big deal. So, and then of course we went into Austin and did the same thing. We did opportunity with George and Adrian. They did an amazing job. And then the next day we did training. So people like that, because even the people from the night before come in and say, oh, we're going to get trained. And then they might bring a guest or two to hear about the opportunity and get trained at the same time. But it's that consistency. It doesn't have to be elaborate. I mean, you do a fantastic job, but we're just doing the same thing everywhere we go.
Yeah, and Antoinette, I'm going to have you talk in a minute, but the key thing is I know that I can count on Antoinette and Christine, and I send these little graphics out, and I say, get to this event. I'm going to put you in a text message with Antoinette, with Christine. They're going to welcome you, and my team gets excited, and I know Uni was really excited. She said, Renee, I need the training, and I'm like, great. Well, Antoinette will do that, and so we are leaders. We are not exclusive. We are inclusive. Like, bring your people. We want them there. So Antoinette, let's close it out. I'll have you
Yes.
do the closing.
And I want to say the reason we started getting together is because we didn't know what we were doing. It's not that you get together because you're all experts. We all started to get together. Like Christine came in once a month, but when she wasn't there, it's very casual. I will do an OPP, I'll do a presentation, but honestly, we take everything we learned for the week and we just try and figure it out. So for some of you, you'll hear my amazing team member, Carol. I mean, she's just the little hot firecracker, but she didn't know how to copy paste. And now she's getting guests there, copy pasting, inviting, doing everything. So I don't want you to feel like you need to know everything. We're all together to learn, and you could do it on a Zoom. It's just getting together in small groups to take whatever's going on with the company. And I know Shannon, she's on fire right now, guys. She's a brand new 3-star. She's going to have 5 new founders. She's about to complete her happy 3. But the truth is that, she's just pulling her people together and they're all working it out. And that's why she was asking about the founder. So I want you all to know that none of us knew what we were doing in the beginning. We all just get together, and some of you know my story, but the only way that I moved up to 3-star pro was because Nilbert told me what to do. Nilbert had been there already. They didn't have the title, but he was already a 3-star pro. So when I called Nilbert, he taught me how to get to it. You know what I mean? So we're all here to help each other, no matter what tree we're on. We're all one big tree. But get together, and it could be as simple as, how do I post? Our goal in life is to be Renee and post. She has fun. She always says, Antoinette, I have people helping me do it. But not only with her posting, but my events, we want to start posting on social media to get people to come. And so the first time we ever even thought about doing that was when Renee's team told us that they do a networking event. And that's one other thing, Renee. I don't know if we talked about this, but we've been getting people there, not because we call it a 3 event, which it is, but we do say networking where they can exchange business cards or talk about their business. And I used to start my event right on the time, but Renee's team taught us to start 30 to 45 minutes early and have everybody come, exchange cards, talk to each other, make it very casual. And then we get into the 3 events, which is how Donna just recruited a fabulous guy that he makes specialty teas. But we networked first and then we went into the event. So, just get together, have fun. And, we're just building a family of 3. That's it.
I love that, Antoinette. Exactly. We are a family of 3 and we are a huge community here. And one of the things that I learned a long time ago is people do what you do. So if you don't go to the events, they don't go to the events. If you are not on the morning Zoom, they are not on the morning Zoom. If you don't go to trainings, they don't go to trainings. If you don't do Zooms, they don't do Zooms.